Honorable Speaker, I was finishing by saying we can't have a country where I purport to speak for the people, my people, yet I mobilize people to destroy my people's property. I mobilize people to kill our own people so that we make political capital out of it. We must desist as political leaders in this country from using our people as political pawns to make political capital out of, Honorable Speaker. And I condemn the lawlessness, the violence, and congratulate the people of Mombasa, Honorable Speaker. The people of Mombasa yesterday demonstrated what peaceably demonstrating is. What happened in Nairobi and in other areas in central Kenya were riots, disorder, and anarchy, Honorable Speaker. And the owner of that anarchy is known, must be apprehended. Honorable Speaker, allow me to commend the police also for the restraint that they exercised yesterday and for the hard work they put yesterday when a police lady was being brutalized by men, grown men, beating up a woman, Honorable Speaker. It's the most despicable thing you can find, that a man is stepping on a police officer on her head. Honorable Speaker, there were criminals who attempted to get into State House girls. It is not William Ruto's children who go to State House girls. It is not Kimani Ichung'wah's daughters who are in State House girls. It is our children. Why would anybody mobilize criminals to attack young schoolgirls in a school? I commend the police for protecting State House girls, protecting other lives and property that they protected yesterday, Honorable Speaker, and call on them to take action on the financiers, the mobilizers, and those particular criminals, and those who want to drive our country to anarchy. And we tell them, resounding as a house, we shall not allow our country to be driven to anarchy by bloodthirsty people, bloodthirsty politicians who have no agenda, who have no vision for Kenya, who can only harp on Gen Z. A Gen Z, a generation, they are neither a Gen Z, nor do they have children in their houses who are Gen Zs, Honorable Speaker. I have 2 Gen Zs in my house. I know what these children want. Those who are just harping on Gen Zs and riding on their wave, Honorable Speaker, are only trying to take advantage of a desperate generation of young Kenyans. Let us desist from doing that, Honorable Speaker, and I beg to second.
Order, honorable members. Those on their feet, take your seats. Honorable members, I now propose the question, which is that appreciating that Article 37 of the Constitution guarantees the right to assemble, demonstrate, and present petitions to public authorities peacefully. Further appreciating that on Wednesday, 25th June 2025, Order, members. Order, Martin. I think in the induction we told you that however pressed you are, when the speaker is on his feet, you maintain studious silence. Further appreciating that on Wednesday, 25th June 2025, sections of the population participated in public demonstrations and protests in various parts of the country. Deeply disturbed in exercise of this great constitutional right, there were numerous cases of violence, arson, invasion into both private and public premises, attacks on innocent wananchi and security officials, most of police officers. And further deeply disturbed, the demonstrators destroyed and vandalized both public and private properties and infrastructure, including courts, administration offices, shops, business premises, homes, and supermarkets in various places in the country, including Nairobi, Kikuyu, and Olkalau, among other places, alarmed by attempts by demonstrators to end girls' security personnel. 3. Security personnel. 3. Affirms and acknowledges the right of every citizen to demonstrate, protest, and express dissent, while emphasizing the need to protect livelihoods and property. And 4. Calls upon the Inspector General of Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to immediately and expeditiously investigate the acts of lawlessness and bring to justice those found culpable, including current and former politicians. Everybody has 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me first of all...
Everybody has 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me first of all offer my condolences to the family who lost their loved ones yesterday, the ones who lost their loved ones 2024, the ones who lost their loved ones 2023, the ones who lost their last one in 2022. Mr. Speaker, I have noticed that the media has forgotten that we also lost loved people in Kisumu. Maybe because they come from Kisumu, they do not matter. But I want to offer condolences to every family who has lost a loved one. Mr. Speaker, Article 37 guarantees a right to demonstrate peaceably and unharmed. And Mr. Speaker, I'm one of the people who pushed for that article in the Constitution, and I will defend it with my life. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, it was very sad to see what happened yesterday. Mr. Speaker, ODM and Azimio have become the experts in demonstration, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, when we were doing that, we were called anarchists.
Bare fidelity to history.
Exactly.
You as truly here was with you in CORD and NASA.
Yes, Mr.
So
Speaker.
it's not just ODM.
No, I've said ODM and Azimio and NASA.
Yes.
And CORD and all those. But the constant one is ODM. Mr. Speaker, for me as Emilio Odhiambo, I can't cheat you. I thank God that I'm resting, Mr. Speaker. I don't think people understand what it means to go to the streets. I understand when the Gen Zs are writing letters to their parents saying may not come back. I would tell my husband that because they didn't know I'd come back. So let us be. You called us names, Mr. Speaker. You called us names. You said we are anarchists and all that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, but who is God? God creates balance. Mr. Speaker, you called us names when we were fighting for the same rights you are fighting for. Mr. Speaker, now, or that you said to be fighting for. Mr. Speaker, now instead what you are telling us is that Baba is eating and observing table manners. Mr. Speaker, if you can give me 1 minute, Mr. Speaker, because I was interrupted, or 2 minutes. Mr. Speaker, it's difficult to be Baba. You are damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, Mr. Speaker, we are only learning from the best. You have observed table manners since independence. Let people from the lake also observe table manners. For once, let us also observe table manners. And take over, and I've heard people saying that that in terms of demonstration, you've overtaken Baba, that we've been lying, that we want to, that no. I am glad to note that you have overtaken us. Please do it excellently. But, Mr. Speaker, I want to say one thing, if you would allow me. Mr. Speaker, as a women's rights activist, Mr. Speaker, yesterday I left my house, not caring for my life. I went to State House when I saw on social media that State House was under attack.
State House, girls. Give her 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When I saw State House girls was under attack, Mr. Speaker, I didn't care for likes. I condemned when the policewoman was under attack. Mr. Speaker, we cannot allow such things. Mr. Speaker, where we are attacking women, and then, Mr. Speaker, today in the morning in the WhatsApp group of FIDA, I saw something very disturbing, that women were being removed from motorcycles, they were being gang raped, and they were being, even in our time with our excellence, even when we are infiltrated, that has never happened. Never. Mr. Speaker, I said this and people condemned me as a Christian. Come, let us reason together. It's not about who is winning. This country belongs to all of us. Thank you.
George Murugara.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker, allow me also
Murugara,
to...
Seeing the interest, I will reduce the time to 2 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
Allow me kindly to empathize with the families and the persons who suffered fatalities yesterday, their properties damaged. This is abhorrent. It has nothing to do with Gen Zs, because we know for sure these youngsters were out to express themselves, but some hooligans hired by unscrupulous persons invaded them and decided to take things south. Honorable Speaker, I think always we must be the role models and examples. Even now we've been told ODM, the member carrying a ref to go and lay on behalf of those who had lost their lives. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But you do not lay wreaths on the streets to remember those who had passed on.
Order.
You
Order,
actually,
Jessica Mbalu. Order.
you actually lay wreaths on the graves of those who passed on, not in the streets. So I wondered what Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka was doing, especially to our young people who should be learning from him, emulating him on how we should be properly doing our things. As leaders, we are role models. We are not there to incite young people, misdirect them, or mislead them. We are there to tutor them to rights and the paths of righteousness. So, with all that, while the Gen Zs were right, our politicians were not right at all, and this is the time they should be called upon to account. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Robert Mbui.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also condemn in the strongest terms possible the destruction of property and infrastructure. And, but Mr. Speaker, we must be careful, because when you look at the way this motion is worded, we seem more concerned about the property that was damaged, and we are not talking about the 10 people that lost their lives yesterday. We are not talking about the 60 that lost their lives last year, right here in Parliament.
Order,
Mr. Speaker,
Robert Mbui, order.
Mr. Speaker,
Order, Robert Mbui, take your seat. Save his time. Save his time. Robert Mbui, I'm also sitting here and I listen. Let's have fidelity to facts. Milo Odhiambo next to you has eulogized all the dead up to 20 years back. Your neighbor there who moved the motion talked about the same thing. Kimani Ichung'wah talked about the same thing. So let's bear fidelity to facts. The motion is not just about what is written, but also what is going to the Hansard. Go ahead.
Mr. Speaker,
Your time was saved, so you have not lost.
Mr. Speaker, the motion is very clear. It doesn't actually talk about the 60 that were killed last year. It doesn't talk about the 10 that were killed yesterday. It talks only about the destruction of property. So, Mr. Speaker, it's important. It's very important that we be careful about this issue. Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Junet.
Mr. Speaker, is my deputy, who is not behaving very well also. Mr. Speaker, is he in order to mislead the House that we are in demonstrations, we have only lost 10 people, 60 people, when he knows very well we were with him having sufrias on our head, and we lost over 100 people on the road, Mr. Speaker, and he was part of us that time. Why is he not talking about those ones? Only because they are Luos, Mr. Speaker, and their lives don't matter. Luo lives don't matter in this country, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the minority leader knows that we also lost people from our region during all those demonstrations. So it's not about tribe. Mr. Speaker, we have to be careful not to trivialize a very serious thing. Now, Mr. Speaker, my concern is this, that this regime, unfortunately, seems to be curtailing rights that are enshrined in our Constitution under Chapter 4. Mr. Speaker, the first one is the freedom to demonstrate, Article 37. Yesterday, you know that the police were trying to stop our youth from demonstrating, which unfortunately is against the Constitution. Mr. Speaker, the right to life, police bullets have taken so many lives, and that is against Article 26. Mr. Speaker, the freedom for movement, which the minority leader has talked about, that people are coming from other places, is a right under Article 39. And Mr. Speaker, also the freedom of media under Article 34 has to also be respected. These rights are being trampled upon. But Mr. Speaker, more importantly, the reason behind yesterday's function is that we were coming to lay wreaths. Mr. Speaker, you know, you gave us permission. We laid wreaths even with members of this House. Outside Parliament, with your permission, I had informed you that my leaders would also be coming to lay wreaths. And you didn't refuse. You only said they don't come.
I told you he was not welcome in the presence of Parliament.
You said they don't come into Parliament. Yes. Mr. Speaker, we laid the wreaths at the fence on the barbed wire that has been put that is barricading Parliament. Mr. Speaker, how does a member then wake up and say that it is wrong for my party leader to commemorate and mourn those that were killed from all regions of the country? So, Mr. Speaker, I think let us not trivialize this thing. I have seen there's an attempt to try and malign certain individuals out of yesterday's activities. Mr. Speaker, this was spontaneous and it was done across the country. And Mr. Speaker, I condemn the destruction. I condemn the looting. I condemn the killings, but we must condemn it fairly so that we do not make it a partisan issue or an individual.
Yes, Deputy Speaker. Everybody has 2 minutes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. I must say that I give my condolences to the families who lost their loved ones. Also, my sympathies with the police officers who are injured. And also, congratulate the police for trying to keep the peace of this country. Honorable Speaker, what happened yesterday was not demonstrations. They were not peaceful demonstrations. Those were acts of hooliganism by criminals who destroyed people's properties. Today, there are people in Nairobi and other parts of the country who are facing bankruptcy. There are people who will not be able to pay for their children to go to school or even feed their families because they have lost everything and all their investment as in the name that somebody was exercising their right, their constitutional right to demonstrate. Yes, you can exercise your constitutional right to demonstrate, but you cannot exercise your right while you destroy the properties and the rights of others. That is completely unacceptable. Your rights end where the other person's rights start. And so we must guard our country from anarchy. We must take action against those who attacked our police stations. CCTV footage is available. They should be arrested and they should be charged. Because even if they are our children, they are not permitted to destroy people's properties or to burn down the government property, vehicles, police stations, courthouses. And I must say, shame on you, Chief Justice Maraga. You're currently on pension paid by the government. They pay for your cars, they pay for your gardener, they pay for your cook, and then you go to the streets to demonstrate and mislead our children, to destroy people's properties. Shame on you, Chief Justice Maraga. Somebody of you...
Farah Malim.
Mr. Speaker, I also begin by sending my condolences to all those ones who lost loved ones in all the incidents that had happened in this country for a very long time. Mr. Speaker, please, Mr. Speaker, there are countries that are autocratic and there are countries that are despotic. There are countries that are ruled by dictators. It is better to be ruled by a despot than to get into a situation of anarchy and chaos and you have a dissolution of that country. Mr. Speaker, the cardinal rule of the executive in this country here, Mr. Speaker, protect me from all this.
Order, honorable members. Let's listen to one another. Go on.
Mr. Speaker, my message goes out to two people. Anybody who is a dignified, retired politician who is having a pension on the basis of that position he held like a speaker, or anybody or in the judiciary, or a politician who is a former president or a former prime minister and gets involved in these kind of things, we should make a law that makes sure that he does not enjoy those perks again. I respected Maraga up until now, but I've now seen that he is nothing but a chaotic anarchist. Juvenile and many others. Mr. Speaker, they took a bit of my time. Give me 1 minute. Mr. Speaker, the most protected place in this world is the White House. It's not the Pentagon.
Give him a minute.
It is not the Pentagon. If you try to scale the boundary of the White House on 1600 Philadelphia Street, you'll be shot in the head. Immediately there are snipers out there to make sure that nobody scales that. When you have an ambition to go and occupy State House, you have occupied Parliament, you have burnt what they call the judiciary, Mr. Speaker, that is anarchy and chaos, and it is on the executive to make sure that the institutions are protected, the lives and properties of Kenyans are protected, and there is a rule of law. There is only one way of dealing with people who are lawless, and that is a very firm application of the law itself. Mr. Speaker, we don't want to have a failed state. If we continue with this kind of liberalism and the way things are happening right now, Gachagua should be in prison today. He should be out there recording a statement and going to prison and going to court. And so should be all those other.
Mary Masse, order. Mary Masse.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand also to condole with the families who lost their loved ones and also wish quick recovery to all those who got injured, including our police officers who are putting their life in line to protect Kenyans and their property. Honorable Speaker, what happened yesterday was very disgusting, despicable to say the least. Honorable Speaker, what we witnessed yesterday was an organized uprising against this country. And we cannot allow this to continue, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we've had demonstrations in the past. We have had demonstrations, but the peculiarity of the recent demonstrations is disturbing, Honorable Speaker. Why are they targeting protected areas like Parliament, like State House, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, I want to support the position by the members who have spoken that these incidents must be investigated thoroughly and all the culprits brought to book, Honorable Speaker. We cannot continue to watch Kenya degenerate into a state of lawlessness and anarchy because we do not have any other country to go to. This is our country. And I conclude by saying, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, we need to bring an amendment in law into this House where we designate specific places for picketing so that if you want to picket, there is a designated place for you to go and picket. Not everywhere and disturbing everyone's peace and disturbing people's businesses and destroying people's property. It's unacceptable, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Kibagendi, what's your point of order? You have a point of order? Yes, what is it? Kibagendi, hold your horses.
Mheshimiwa Speaker, hapo awali tujadili mswada uliokuwepo tupige.
Thank you, Honorable Chonga. From where I sit, I can see all of you, and I can tell how many you are. Since I made that pronouncement, the highest recorded number has been 193. That is not 233. The highest number you have recorded since I made the direction has been 193. So the moment you reach 233, I'll stop the clock on this motion and we vote. The moment we don't get there, the motion we passed stands. Thank you. Kibagendi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I want to appreciate for this opportunity. It is the first time you've given me a chance to speak outside a question or statement in this House. I appreciate. I want to also associate myself with the concerns that have been raised by my fellow colleagues, especially on the destruction of property and killings and the unfortunate things that happened yesterday. I, however, would also like to caution, we need to be also talking about the issues that have been raised by Genz. The issues raised by the Genz.
Fatuma, just hold on, Kibagendi, hold this time. Yes, give Mama.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Kibagendi has just made a statement. Maybe you didn't take notice. But it is the first time that you've given him an opportunity to speak in this House. I would like him to know that you don't pull people from their seats to speak. You must raise your voice. You must show that you are interested in speaking. So I beg him to withdraw that statement because you don't work in partiality. You are very considerate, Mr. Speaker. And he's never even in the house and he's blaming you. You don't point people from their houses to contribute. That is wrong, Ms. Kibagendi.
Thank you. Thank you, Fatuma, for defending me. And that's why I ignored it. Go on, Kibagendi.
That's extremely responsible from my fellow honorable member.
Go on
who does
with your
not
contribution.
Now, I wanted to make a point this way, Honorable Speaker. We must stop trivializing the concerns of young people of this country and trying to make it become like it is a Gachagua thing. Kenyans demonstrated across the country, and it is because of their concerns that we must all rise up and support these young people. Honorable Maraga did not come to the streets because he just wanted to come to it is because of the concerns of young people. I'm perturbed by what Honorable Farah Maalim and the Deputy Speaker speaking about Honorable Maraga and those who've spoken about the former Deputy President.
Junet.
It is irresponsible.
What is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Kibagendi is saying this was a Genz demonstration. Could he share the House with his experience in organizing the one in Kisii County, Mr. Speaker? Because he was the supervisor and organizer of that one, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I hope you'll add me the time because you realize all this time members have been...
Go ahead with you.
What I'm saying is this. Honorable Junet, with all due respect and all the leaders that have spoken before me, we need to be more concerned about the issues raised by young people in this country rather than trivialize this to what Gachagua has done to this country. Gachagua is such a small person. Did he organize in Mombasa? Did he organize in Kisii? Did he organize in Kericho? Why don't you have him arrested? Deal with Gachagua in accordance with the law. And finally, we want to advise that this...
Mwafrika? You have 2 minutes. Avoid side shows and just contribute. Mwafrika?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't want to repeat what has been said by other members, Mr. Speaker, but I have an issue of the way deployment of security was done yesterday selectively, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to give an example of the
Let's listen to Mwafrika.
Mr. Speaker, I have an issue in the way security was deployed yesterday selectively. Mr. Speaker, to offer the basic security of minimum security services of crime prevention, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, security was deployed selectively, and I will be raising a statement for the police to explain to us where the police officer were, where the goons took 3 hours to break Kasmat supermarket in Githurai, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Totienda Molo.
Mr. Speaker, as a veteran demonstrator,
Yes.
I empathize and condole with the families that lost their loved ones. We must say that Article 37 is very clear, the right to demonstrate peaceably and unarmed. But that right does not extend to an attempt to establish government other than by law. Article 3.2 is very clear, and it must be read out that any person, any attempt to establish a government otherwise than in accordance with this constitution is unlawful. We must be very clear, Mr. Speaker. Demonstrations are different from anarchy. What we saw in Mombasa were demos. What we saw in all those other places mentioned in the motion, that was anarchy, and it cannot be tolerated. Mr. Speaker, we condemn the hiring of goons. We condemn the torching of, courts
police stations, and houses. We condemn the extreme provocation of the police. But, Mr. Speaker, I also condemn the CAK for stopping live coverage, because the CAK cannot do that in the face of a very clear judgment by the court. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for also giving me this opportunity to air my views.
Order, Mama Machakos. Order. Yes, Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have really not lived for long in this planet Earth. It's just nearly about 4 decades. And about 3/4 of such I've lived in the Mount Kenya region. Honorable Speaker, what I saw yesterday in Mount Kenya has never been seen before. And I'll be very specific on Mount Kenya because that is a place I grew in, Honorable Speaker. What I saw in terms of looting and destruction of property has never been witnessed before, Honorable Speaker. And we call it by its name. But there are 3 things I'll speak to, Honorable Speaker. Number 1, we need to review the police laws, Honorable Speaker. We need to find a way to guard our police officers from these anarchists that are emanating from all over. That is number 1. We really must review that. Number 2, if you can protect me, Honorable Speaker, from
Order, Honorable Kamene. You have the right to converse with your neighbors, but not to shout the way you are doing. Please keep your cool.
So, number 1, Honorable Speaker, we need to review the police laws. We need to protect our police officers. Number 2, we need to look into the question of pension or those officers, the retired officers who are pensionable, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Muturi earns more than 1 million shillings, Honorable Speaker, from the pension, from the taxpayer, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka earns a lot of money, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Maraga earns a lot of money. That law must be reviewed. They need not to earn when they are actively involved in such things, Honorable Speaker. Number 3, Honorable Speaker, it's the question to the former Deputy President. You claim to speak for the Mount Kenya region. Now speak about the destruction of property. Speak about the loss of jobs. Talk about Naivas that was looted in Nyeri. Now talk about those young people that lost jobs in Nyeri. Talk about...
Elachi. Okay, give him a minute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Talk about the lives lost. Now talk about the Kikuyu law court, Honorable Speaker, that was burnt down, Honorable Speaker. Talk about those people who are suffering, Honorable Speaker, when they were going home after doing their business, Honorable Speaker. They were being stopped by goons and they were being asked of money before they passed, Honorable Speaker. If this person claims to speak about, for Mount Kenya people, this is the time we want to hear about those people who lost businesses in town, those people that have suffered, Honorable Speaker. And there is no question about it. Honorable Rigathi Gachagua must be arrested. And all the politicians that work under him, they should be arrested and investigated because we saw some of them moving around and claiming that they are supporting this movement called Genz, which is a lie, Honorable Speaker. There is no movement called Genz. These are criminals. There is nothing like that. There is nothing called Genz, Honorable Speaker. Those are people who are hiding behind a generation to loot and bring anarchy in this country, Honorable Speaker.
Elachi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to say that indeed it is very unfortunate as leaders to just see our country go. And indeed, it is very sad that when you are in this house and you think the things that are happening outside there will not find you on the doorstep, then I think you've never remembered what happened in 2007, Mr. Speaker. We started a joke. We ended up with all the lives we lost. And so as much as I will say today that it is sad for parents who lose their children because of political scores, that today we are here again discussing an anarchy in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, I will tell you, and first of all, thank all the constituencies in Nairobi that made sure they restrained themselves from destroying property. But at the same time, the rapes that happened on Thika Road, Mr. Speaker, has never been done like that. And Mr. Speaker, I want to speak as I finalize to our generation, that you are a young generation that can shape the future of this country. You are innovators, you are digital. But I want to tell you, in a world where it's growing with a lot of conflict, you will be overwhelmed and people will take advantage. But I want to say, we must bring a law here to give incentives to our young people to start businesses without taxes so that we give them jobs, because in their generation, there is no jobs. Everything is going digital. They will never have employment. We must think, and we must tell those who are thinking, you can use Genz to have power.
Madenge. Before Madenge takes the floor, I acknowledge in this public gallery Ararat Shiner School from Ainabkoi was in Gishu. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome them to the House of Parliament. Madenge.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to add my voice in saying pole to the families who lost, who had their loved ones lose their lives because of the demonstrations yesterday. Mr. Speaker, yesterday was a sad day for Nyeri. And Mr. Speaker, this nation has to have those of us in leadership and those of us who are citizens rising up to the occasion and saving our country. We have to become the conscience of our nation. We cannot solve our grievances by destroying what we have. The time has come for a candid conversation. Our young people are speaking, but they must know that this country, to get where it has gotten, it has taken painstaking building. And it is important that we appeal to them that this country belongs to them, but they cannot be able to live in a country that is ruined and destroyed. Mr. Speaker, I pray for moderation across the board, right from those of us sitting in this House who have made statements that only serve to inflame passions and emotions. Mr. Speaker, it is important that we realize that we are standing at a very crucial point. Our country is at crossroads. We must save our country. I plead with all of us that we rise up to the occasion and do what has to be done. Our country cannot get destroyed in our hands and during our time.
Mwashako? Is that Mwashako? No. Member for... Yes, take the floor. Yes, the member from Kisii.
Barongo.
Barongo.
Yeah.
Yes, my friend Barongo. Give him the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to also contribute on the what we witnessed yesterday. Mr. Speaker, I can see from the mood of most of the members a blanket condemnation of what happened yesterday. But, Mr. Speaker, this has not happened just once. This is the second time that this is happening. And for sure, next year, the Gen Zs again will rise up again to continue to press all of us around addressing the issues that are very important to them. So as much as we are condemning everything that went wrong yesterday, we must laud these people for pushing us to be better versions of ourselves so that we can be able to bequeath them with a better future going forward. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Didymus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this, that what we witnessed yesterday was not a demonstration. What we witnessed yesterday was a group of criminals that were mobilized by an individual who want to use the tears of Kenyans who are losing their businesses and the blood that our young people are shedding to resurrect his already stifled political career. Honorable Speaker, the person who orchestrated, masterminded, and funded these activities is well known, Mr. Speaker. The police must arrest the former impeached Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Rigathi Gachagua, because we cannot continue as a country to watch a tribal individual mobilizing his members of his communities to engage in hooliganism, Honorable Speaker. The blood of the people who lost their lives, the tears of those whose businesses were broken into, Honorable Speaker, will cry revenge on the life of Rigathi Gachagua. He cannot be mobilizing members of his community to begin maiming other people, to begin destroying the properties of the people of Kenya. Yet he is busy looking for tenders for his own children. The law must be applied equitably and equally, regardless of whether the criminal is a rich who lives in the castle or is a poor person who lives beneath the bridge, Honorable Speaker. The Rigathi Gachagua must be arrested and prosecuted and taken to jail.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also rise to make my contributions on this motion. Honorable Speaker, what happened yesterday, as a parliament, we have to condemn in the strongest possible terms. Number one, I want to say that we must rise to a parliament, a nation that solves problems. We must not allow some people to take political scores because we have a little bit relaxed on providing for justice. The justice we are talking about, the families that their children lost their lives. We need to organize for a national prayer, give them compensation, and shame the demons in the broad daylight. Mr. Speaker, number two, the police have tried, and yesterday they exercised restraint. We have to take it that they must be beefed up in terms of their numbers. Whether it requires additional resources, Mr. Speaker. I came to Parliament yesterday and saw the work that they were doing. I want to applaud them, but they need to be increased in number so that we don't have a situation whereby when things are getting out of hands, then we direct the GSU to come. I witnessed next to the Parliament here, the people who are hiding behind Genz, Mr. Speaker. The Genz came in, and when they walked and found the policemen, the age of the real Genz, they were allowed to walk in. All of them clapped, and they were young children. But the ones who are exercising hooliganism, Mr. Speaker, those are not Genz. My third contribution, the women are the largest numbers who lost their properties yesterday, besides the ones who were raped. I could see the ones who are confessing over the television. The majority are the women.
Benja.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to join my colleagues in condoling the families who lost their children, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as a way of information...
I'll reduce to 1 minute now.
Mr. Speaker, as a way of information, because I've had members talk here, I was here in the 11th Parliament, Mr. Speaker, and I'm aware we passed a law called Deputy President and other State Officers Retirement Benefits Act, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, in that act, we are giving the retired Deputy President some salary and vehicles, retired Chief Justice, retired Speakers, Mr. Speaker. But we also said in that act, Mr. Speaker, that for as long as they are not engaged in political activities, Mr. Speaker, they will enjoy that pension, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want now to ask the executive to remove vehicles and salaries from former Vice President Kalonzo Musyoka, to remove vehicles and salaries, Mr. Speaker, from the retired Chief Justice, Mr. Speaker, because they are now engaged in anarchy, they are engaged in politics, Mr. Speaker. The law is there, Mr. Speaker. We only need to execute the law so that we make sure they enjoy the retirement or they play politics, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Patrick Macau.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I too join the families of those children who lost their lives and also the policemen who are hurt during the demonstrations. Mr. Speaker, I think as a House, it is high time we listen to ourselves, listen to the young people, and ask ourselves, what's the bigger question? How do we engage these young people? Mr. Speaker, I agree. There could be people who are inciting them. But the bigger picture is how we engage them. Because as a parliament, you know how much we are looked at as though we don't fight for them. Mr. Speaker, I want us to stand up and engage the young people of this nation. And Mr. Speaker, again, I want also when the policemen are out there, when they're controlling these crowds. Mr. Speaker, when I look at yesterday at Matu, 2 people were shot. When you look at the crowds which were at Matu and Wote, compared to Nairobi and other places, 4 people lost their lives. So, Mr. Speaker, I urge even the...
Sane.
Mr. Speaker, the right to demonstration is enshrined in our Constitution. Looting supermarkets, robbing mama bogas, burning police stations, personal properties are not within the realm of that right. Mr. Speaker, protests are majorly political from what I have observed. We elect leaders through the ballot. We have a legitimately elected president. Marching to State House is tantamount to a coup, which is unacceptable. I'm looking forward to a time when somebody from northern Kenya can be a president peacefully. Nyanza can be an elected president, can produce a president. The western Kenyan people can be president. The coastal people can be president. We can't have a monopoly of leadership just because you disagree with somebody. Somebody cannot be the president. I entirely don't approve that.
Chonga.
Asante mstahiki Spika. Mimi nimekuwa mmoja kati ya ambao washawahi kuwekwa ndani kwa sababu ya maandamano. Chenye mimi najiuliza Spika ni kwamba maandamano ya kila wakati yanapokuja kuna wizi, kuna ubakaji, kuna maisha tunapoteza. Tukiwa wabunge wenye tengeneza sheria, tutakaa tuangalie hii hali paka lini? Mbona hatusikii maandamano Rwanda? Mbona hatusikii maandamano Tanzania? Mbona hatusikii maandamano kwa majirani? Wakati tukiandamana, hakuna faida tumeweza kuipata isipokuwa ni hasara zaidi ya hasara. Nataka kizazi ambacho kinakuja kitukumbuke ya kwamba bunge hili lilisimama kidete na likakuja na suluhisho ya kusitisha, kutafuta mbinu mbadala za kuweza kuwasilisha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I really sympathize with those ones who lost their properties and lives under the hands of a bloodthirsty personality, a vampire of our generation, the man who cares less, the man who feels nothing. Mr. Speaker, we as members of parliament have come across the wrath of this man. I had started with the wrath of this man on Sunday. He came to my constituency sorting everybody, and he brought this to Nairobi. It is a shame. It's a shame to the organizers. It's a shame to those people who came and encouraged our people to rape our women. It is so bad. It's a shame.
Member for Isiolo. Is it North or Bidu?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, to give me the opportunity for me to contribute. In itself, we all condemn what happened yesterday. Goons cannot rule a country. Goons will only destroy a country. So whatever happened, if anybody has any issues, we don't condone goonism. And goons are in every form. Even in my county, there was a goon which was going on, up to the point of county assembly could not sit because goons were employed by the governor and he was stopping the members of the county assembly from sitting. So we should condemn goons in all forms so that we get safe in Kenya. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Speaker, sorry.
Tongoyo, Chairman, Security, I'll give you 2 minutes by virtue of yours.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I want to join the rest of us who have spoken to condemn what happened yesterday, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I should also want to really pass my condolences to the families who lost their loved one in yesterday's demonstration, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, from the very start, Honorable Speaker, what happened yesterday was not, Honorable Speaker, demonstration. They are riots. Honorable Speaker, as much as Article 37 talk clearly about the right of Kenyans to demonstrate, to picket, to assemble, it outlined the condition under which it has to take place. It says that it has to be peaceful, the demonstrators has to be unarmed. And Honorable Speaker, what we saw is totally the opposite. The people who participated in the demonstration or in the riot, Honorable Speaker, they were armed. And the intention was very clear, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, what is so surprising, Honorable Speaker, is actually when, Honorable Speaker, you take a keen look to what actually these people, the places they ban, the police station, the Ngao offices, the supermarkets, you keep wondering what the intention was, Honorable Speaker. In fact, Honorable Speaker, I'm sorry to say, in one instance, I think it was in Kikuyu, these people raided the police station and they ran away with ammunition box full of bullets, right? You keep wondering, Honorable Speaker, what were they up to? You just conclude, Honorable Speaker, these are the people who are outrightly out for a coup, a civilian coup, to overturn a legitimately elected government.
Edith Genz, did you give him 2 minutes?
Thank you.
You have done your 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity.
Edith, just hold.
Yes.
Wind up what you're saying.
Honorable Speaker, as I finish, Honorable Speaker, I want really to commend the work done by our police officers, the very patriotic, dedicated officers who actually went beyond the call of duty to protect this country. Honorable Speaker, it is a moment we should be able to have a candid conversation to really, Honorable Speaker, come to our senses and able to protect this country, because we don't have any other country to run to. We only have one country, Kenya, and we must safeguard it. And if it means for looking at our security laws, Honorable Speaker, we should actually do the same, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Edith Genz.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me take this opportunity to empathize with the families who lost their loved ones and also people who lost property and livelihoods. Mr. Speaker, let me say that as we condemn and say some people organized the strikes or the riots, let's also recognize that there is a problem in our country. How can our youth be so daring to even want to lose their lives? That means there is a lot of hopelessness. There is a lot of desperation. And this is the thing which we should actually be addressing. How can we help our Genzs? How can we help the young people? We should not continue condemning other people who do not have instruments of power. Who has the instrument of power? Because we can't keep on blaming other people who have no power, like we keep on...
Member for Kwanza.
Mr. Speaker, this demonstration I saw yesterday, there was not a demonstration. There was an anarchy, and I want us as a parliament, Mr. Speaker, if you could listen to me, I think let's have a solution. Because as it is, we are just talking. I want us to at least sit as a house to be able to demonstrate to the Kenyans that this is what we are going to do in case. Because there are even people who are actually leaders in this country who are involved. That we saw. So I would suggest, Mr. Speaker, that this House can form a team to be able to look at this and see how far we can go to condemn the whole thing and see what can be able to be done.
Wakili Mureo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. I want also to empathize and give my condolences to the members of the community who lost their lives, even the community who lost their properties. Mr. Speaker, as we talk about the riots and looting yesterday, there is one thing we are not focusing on. Why is the country angry? Why is the country angry? The country is angry because the youth do not have a job. The country is angry because there's overtaxation. The country is angry because the government has refused to listen to them. Yesterday it was Raila. Today you are saying it's Gachagua. What I want to tell you is this. Unless we address the core issues affecting this country, mismanagement of the economy,
Nyakundi. Nyakundi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for also giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, what we witnessed yesterday was pure anarchy. What we witnessed yesterday was looting, terrorism, someone who wanted to take this country to the goose. And as this House, we cannot accept, and the people of Kenya, to be taken to the goose by someone who was fired or who was impeached because of his bad manners. As a country, we sympathize with those who lost their loved ones. We sympathize for everyone who lost his property yesterday. But as this House, we must sit down and look on the solution towards the problem that we have as a country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Odanga Makoha.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I condole with the families that lost their loved ones, and also I pray for those who are sick, those who are maimed and injured to recover quickly. Honorable Speaker, we need a conversation. The young people who have spoken, they are speaking repeatedly. We need to listen to them. A conversation is very critical, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable.
Zaire. Can somebody look for Jeanette? It's time we...
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'd like to express my condolence to the family of the ones who passed away. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this motion and totally condemn the acts of lawlessness, destruction, and vandalism that we witnessed yesterday in this republic. Let it be clear, this country upholds the right to peaceful assembly, but what we witnessed was not a generic demonstration, Mr. Speaker. It was a coordinated assault on the very foundation of our republic, a coup attempt and more of a terrorist attack to this government by the Lord of Impunity, Rigathi Gachagua. Honorable Speaker, it is not enough to condemn. I request through you.
Mama Nairobi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I pass condolences to all the families that have lost their loved ones and wish quick recovery for the ones that are in hospital, I would like to talk about the Law Society and the action that they need to focus on. Penal Code 137 says that any person who improperly and indecently interferes with or offers any indignity to a dead human body. And then there is also the Computer Misuse and Cyber Crimes Act, unauthorized publication of intimate and offensive images, even if true. Honorable Speaker, we're seeing a tendency of videos of the dead being taken and shared online, not caring about whether the parents of that dead person know or whether the parents of that dead person or the family members would want to see the bodies of their dead being displayed on social media. I feel that this is a breach of the law, and we should respect the dead, and we should, even if we take the videos, we should share them directly with the family, but not online to get...
Lel Mengit.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My heart goes to those families who lost their loved ones. And also, Honorable Speaker, I would like to condemn what happened yesterday. Honorable Speaker, those are not Gen Zs, and we are using this term Gen Zs wrongly. Those who are organized political or criminal gangs, Honorable Speaker. These are bitter people, these are vengeful people, these are desperate people who see death and blood as Christmas celebrations. Honorable Speaker, this has to be out in public, Honorable Speaker, that these are people who are bitter and who are angry for power, Honorable Speaker, who are organizing these demonstrations and destroying property and lives of people, Honorable Speaker. I want to urge and also condemn the police out there that you exercise powers according to the constitution of this country, and I want to condemn you for the restraint that you had yesterday, and I pray that...
Condemn or commend? Yes, Kajwang TJ.
Mr. Speaker, you need a state to enjoy your rights. Listen, everybody. You need a unified state to enjoy those rights. You need a stable country to enjoy those rights. Those rights you cannot enjoy if we are in a turmoil in a military state. The way we are going into Kenya, we are going into a military state. We are. Those people who cannot face the ballot and cannot get power through the ballot are taking us straight to the military dictatorship. And I can tell you, the shortest period of time a country has got out of military dictatorship is 15 years, 20 years actually. In fact, you will need the whole generation to wipe out the whole generation.
Give him a minute.
Just to finish a sentence, you will take a whole generation to come back to a democracy. So don't joke. Don't joke with this thing. If you want power, talk to your people from Mount Kenya and come to the ballot and take that power. But you cannot take us to a military dictatorship. Even when I, from Ruaraka, would go to the streets every day, I only went there because I wanted my democratic rights to enjoy. But I don't go there in a void, in a military state. Mr. Speaker, we need a country where we are ruled by the rule of law. I am ashamed. Two chief justices. In fact, I think I'm a better chief justice than some of those. Huh?
Kahangara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Let me also pass my condolences to the families of those people who lost their lives last year and this year. And Mr. Speaker, let me say that Kenya is a democracy, a country that holds elections every 5 years, meaning that people have an opportunity to put in the government that they would want in place, and will not allow a government where people want to come through the back door. Mr. Speaker, let me speak for the police. Our police have really shown restraint. And as a country, if we want to move forward, how do you expect our police officers to be able to protect property when people are coming when they are armed and police are not able to take action? Mr. Speaker, I think this is an opportunity for us as a House where we should be able to sit, and if it means changing our laws so that we can be able to protect the people who are supposed to be protecting us as the police, we ensure that they are able to arrest, they are able to stop what was happening yesterday. Otherwise, when we...
Thank you, Kahangara. Mover to reply. We gave 1.5 hours. We have exceeded by 5 minutes.
Oh? Are you allowed to donate?
You have 5 minutes to reply.
No,
you can donate.
10, Mr. Speaker, I have 10.
You have 10 minutes.
Yes.
You can donate.
1 minute to Gogo.
Order.
1 minute to Gogo. And 1 minute to Bararot.
2 minutes.
And 1 minute to Al-Kalau. That is all, Mr. Speaker. Only 3 minutes.
Okay. Kogo. Lillian.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I don't know whether to thank you or to thank my majority leader, because I raised my hand throughout and you simply refused to see me.
Just thank the Speaker because I can
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My question is, as I condole with the people who lost their families, as I condole with the mothers who lost their loved ones, as I condole and empathize with the people and the women and the young people who lost their businesses, were these people going to State House or were they going to State House girls? And what interest did they have in State House girls? And finally, Honorable Speaker, I want to say, they went burning police stations. They should take, it has been said that Gachagua should be arrested. He should be arrested, be put up in a police station, and I will personally go and put that police station in flames so that it is destroyed forever. Then after that...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to extend my message of condolences to the families who lost their dear ones. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I want to condemn the anarchy we saw yesterday in our streets. Mr. Speaker, my message is that these people, the sponsors who led actually in the demonstrations yesterday, Genz have been saying that they are leaderless, but we saw leaders yesterday, former leaders, joining the demonstration. They should be punished, Mr. Speaker. Another thing, Mr. Speaker, is that the NCIC, what is their role currently in the country? We've seen a lot of and witnessed a lot of hate speech, but NCIC are quiet. They are supposed to come out and protect. Another thing, Mr. Speaker, is the IPOA. Criminals should not use IPOA as a way.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to send a message of condolence to the people who lost their loved ones, and in a special way, Mama Brian Dongo from Olkalau. Honorable Speaker, having said that, this House must look at what happened yesterday like a timing bomb. There is clear disconnect between the Gen Z and the country leadership. And this House we cannot pretend that we don't know. We know the issues of unemployment, the issues of abduction, the issues of continued killing of their colleagues, and that is why the Gen Z came. And the Gen Z are normally very peaceful until they are brutally provoked by government-sponsored goons. Sakaja plan failed. Yesterday, Gen Z finished their demos at 4, and the goons that were organized came on the street to loot. And we cannot call the Gen Z the looters. We cannot call them the goons. They are goons who are sponsored by...
Yes, yes, Masara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Migori has been the headquarters of demonstration. I thank the people of Migori because yesterday Migori was very quiet. Mr. Speaker, we have only one country. And those who are thinking they can ban this country, where will they be after the country is banned? I want to request each and every citizen that it is high time we sit down and agree that if it is power was there the other day. Power has left them less than 2 years, and they have started banning their own property. Mr. Speaker, I can say that moving forward, we are not going to blame Genz. We'll talk to our young people and tell them, some of us, like me and Jeanette here, we are a product of civil society. From councillor to mayor to now MP and going to be the next governor of Migori. Young people, let you not be misused, let you not be go astray. You have a future. This country belongs to you after we have...
Now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first and foremost, I want to thank the members of this House for taking their time to contribute to this important motion, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in accordance with the Constitution, it is only this House that can address matters of concern to the people, Mr. Speaker. And what happened yesterday must be a matter of concern to the people of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I've listened keenly to the contribution of every single member, and every member has reiterated that this country cannot slide to anarchy. We must have a country that we are all proud of, Mr. Speaker. We must have a country that serves us all equally, irrespective of our religion, our race, our community, our tribe, our color, please, and all kinds of things. Mr. Speaker, but one thing I've noted, Mr. Speaker, from the contribution of my members is that they have confirmed all and sundry here that yesterday's demonstrations were not Genz demonstrations. They were political demonstrations organized by politicians who are power hungry, who are impeached, and who want to come back to power through the back door, Mr. Speaker, and take this country to the dogs. I want to speak to the young people of our country, Mr. Speaker, wherever they are, may they be in my constituency or in other constituencies, that your good intentions of rectifying what is happening in this country, of speaking to the powers that be, has been hijacked and overtaken by selfish, inward-looking, self-interested politicians, Mr. Speaker, who are power-hungry, led by one man called Rigathi Gachagua. Mr. Speaker, a member here said that Sakaja brought goons. Was Sakaja in Olkalau? Was Sakaja in Kikuyu? Was Sakaja in Nyeri? Was Sakaja in Kiambu? Was Sakaja in Muranga? Was Sakaja in Madira? Was Mei in Kieni? Sakaja was in Nairobi. But the distractions and looting that happened in Mount Kenya, Mr. Speaker, is what we describe today as ethnic mobilization. Someone has decided to mobilize his ethnicity, thinking that he can invade State House and take power through a coup. Power can only be gotten through the ballot, Mr. Speaker. You have to go and campaign, talk to the people, sell your policies, tell people what your manifesto is, and they will elect you, and then you can rule the country, Mr. Speaker. Any other shortcut to power, nobody will entertain it. No country, no country will allow that, and no citizen will allow that. Mr. Speaker, our country is a very beautiful country. The constitution that we enjoy in this country, Mr. Speaker, very little countries have, including developed countries in Western world, Mr. Speaker. The kind of constitution we have, the Bill of Rights, the kind of constitution we enjoy, no African country enjoys, Mr. Speaker. But there are people who are hell-bent to mutilate and discard that constitution, Mr. Speaker, for their own selfish. One of the things I've heard this afternoon, Mr. Speaker, that has shocked me, really, really, and sent shivers in my spine, Mr. Speaker, is when the leader of majority stood in his place in the House, Mr. Speaker, and said that their home was invaded for the sole purposes of killing his father, who is 105 years, and his mother, who is 85 years, Mr. Speaker, what have the parents of the majority leader got to do with the politics of this country? A man who has done everything he could do in this world. Mr. Speaker, he has even informed me privately here that one man had to be shot so that the thugs can run away, Mr. Speaker. And they have confirmed, I can say this on the floor of this House, that those thugs were organized and supervised by one man called Rigathi Gachagua, Mr. Speaker. What kind of inhumanity can that be, Mr. Speaker, that you want to attack the parents of a politician because you don't like that politician? You want to kill the parents of that politician. If that man can now think of killing the parents of the majority leader, Mr. Speaker, what do you think that man is going to do in 2027, Mr. Speaker? No wonder he said that 2027 will be a Christmas party. I mean 2007 will be a Christmas party, Mr. Speaker. The member of parliament from Odaya has just told me now, Mr. Speaker, that he has lost one of his constituents yesterday. He has lost a constituent. The member for Odaya, Mr. Speaker, here. A very close, campaigner of his, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, why are we allowing this anarchy to perpetuate in this country? And now they are using the name of Genz to cause anarchy, to cause mayhem, to maim women, to kill people, and to... Mr. Speaker, I asked when I was moving the motion, if you want to demonstrate nationally, you can demonstrate in every part of the country where you are. You don't have to transport people from Kiambu, from Muranga, from Nyeri, from Laikipia, and bring them to Nairobi so that you demonstrate. What happens if the member for parliament for Narok East, yes, decides to bring his people, the Maasais from Narok to Nairobi, and then Emilio Odhiambo decides to bring Sobas from Soba, and then Wanyonyi brings people from Trans Nzoia, and everyone meets here in Nairobi. What kind of country are we going to have? So, Mr. Speaker, these are people, now I see them now walking around in the wards of Kenyatta Hospital today, saying that they are visiting young people that they brought to the streets so that they can be injured, they can be killed for no reason, Mr. Speaker. The young people of this country have good intentions, we know. They want our country to be safe. The young people of our country don't want what Gachagua is planning. They want a safe country, a country that they can be proud of when they get old, Mr. Speaker. And that is what we are going to do. All of us in this house were elected by Genz. We never came here by ourselves. We were voted for by Genz. We were voted for by women, by elderly, by every person. And we know what our constituents want. Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I beg to reply.
Member for Lamu, take the nearest seat. Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the question at order number 10, which is that appreciate and present petitions to public authorities peacefully. Further appreciating that on Wednesday, 25th June 2025, participated in public demonstrations and protests in various parts of the country. Deeply disturbed that in exercise of this great constitutional right, there were numerous cases of violence, arson, invasion into both private and public properties, attacks on innocent wananchi and security officials, most of police officers, and further deeply disturbed that demonstrators destroyed and vandalized both public and private properties and infrastructure, including courts, administration offices, shops, business premises, homes and supermarkets in various places in the country, including Nairobi, Kikuyu, and Olkalau, among other places, alarmed by attempts by demonstrators to enter girls' schools, including the State House Girls' School, Nairobi. Now, therefore, this House, 1, condemns in the strongest terms the deliberate destruction of public and private property and infrastructure during demonstrations, including court records. 2, express grave concern over the repeated incidents of violence targeting civilians and public officers, including security personnel. 3, affirms and acknowledges the right of every citizen to demonstrate, protest, and express dissent, while emphasizing the need to protect livelihoods, and property. And 4, calls upon the Inspector General of Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to immediately and expeditiously investigate the acts of lawlessness and bring to justice those found culpable, including current and former politicians who are involved in the planning, mobilization, financing, and incitement of mobs, goons, and criminals. As members of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable members, as we go to the next order, I want to thank you for exhibiting maturity, decorum, and decency in debating a rather emotive issue. The events of yesterday should alarm all of you and all of us Kenyans that we need to speak to each other and make our country safe. This morning, the leadership of this House joined yours truly to meet a delegation from Nigeria, led by the majority leader of their parliament. They have come to Kenya to learn from us on how we engineered our new constitution. They have come to learn from us on how we are nurturing our democracy. What we saw yesterday is an antithesis of democracy. And we want to urge all of us, everybody included in the management of the affairs of the country, more so, we, the political class. It is wrong, it's unlawful, it's unconstitutional, and unacceptable to hide and take advantage of the poverty of our people, to hire them and take them to the streets to suffer untold harm. There was looting and burning of property in Dagoretti up to 8 p.m. last night. Rongai, same thing. Assuming it was demonstrations, demonstrations have a timeline. You start in the morning at 10 and end by 5, 6. I urge you, honorable members, and the legal team that advises the Speaker, you need to think seriously about having a law that governs and protects demonstrations and demonstrators against infiltrations by wrong people hell-bent on doing wrong things. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
We'll go back to receiving responses to statements. A response to Charles Ngusia. Is Charles Ngusia in the House? Yes. The Chair, Blue Economy, Water and Irrigation, is he in the House? He is not. Ngusia will push your response to Tuesday. Response to Mother Wangari by Finance and Planning. Both Mother and Finance are not here next Tuesday. Labor to Cynthia Muge. Yes, Major Deco, you have a response? Then response to Daniel Nanok from Regional Development. Is the Chair Regional Development here? Lochakapong, are you ready? Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This is a statement regarding the implementation of Shirika Plan.
Order. Are you addressing the Speaker or the Chair? Which Chair?
Sorry, I say Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker. Apologies, Honorable Speaker.
Go ahead and respond.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, this is a statement regarding the implementation of Shirika Plan for refugees and host communities submitted to a committee in response to a question that was asked by the member for Turkana West, the Honorable Epuyo Nanok. Now, Honorable Speaker, Kenya has hosted refugees and asylum seekers from the Great Lakes region, East and the Horn of Africa for over 3 decades. Now, the country remains the 5th largest refugee hosting country in Africa and the 13th largest asylum country in the world. Honorable Speaker, the government of Kenya, in collaboration with partners, has been taking concrete steps to improve the conditions of host communities and refugees. In line with Global Compact on Refugees, GCR 2018, and its comprehensive refugee response framework, Shirika Plan builds on the success of past and ongoing programs. In 2022, Honorable Speaker, the government pronounced its intention to strengthen integration through socio-economic inclusion of host communities and refugees through a strategy called Marshall Plan, which was later renamed Shirika Plan. Shirika is a multi-year plan that aims to enhance socio-economic inclusion for host communities in refugees for them to be self-reliant and resilient. The Shirika Plan is in line with the Constitution of Kenya, Refugees Act 2021, Sustainable Development Goals, Vision 2030, and Medium-Term Plan 4, and bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Shirika builds on the success of Kalobeyei Integrated Socio-Economic Development Plan, Phase 1 and 2, and Garissa Integrated Socio-Economic Plan. Shirika Plan was officially launched on 28th of March 2025 by His Excellency the President, William Ruto. The plan is an initiative to turn the country's 2 refugee camps in Dadaab and Kakuma into self-reliant integrated settlements, allowing refugees and host communities to live and work side by side and access donor and government services alike. This comes on the back of commitment made through the 2018 Global Compact for Refugees, which Kenya is party to. Shirika Plan has been lauded as a major step forward in securing durable solutions for Kenya's over 800,000 refugees and asylum seekers, finding solutions to forced displacement, many of these refugees having lived in Kenya since the 1990s, has become even more pressing in the wake of recent U.S. aid cuts, which threaten the livelihoods of refugees receiving material assistance from donors. Therefore, Shirika Plan will transform how we respond to refugee crisis from a series of annual care and maintenance programs into a sustainable government-led comprehensive refugee response. Honorable Speaker, the objectives of the Shirika Plan, one is to facilitate the transition to government-led development, development-oriented and integrated services. Two, strengthen the capacity of government institutions to serve refugees and host communities. Now, three, enhance resource mobilization in support of integration. Honorable Speaker, pillars of the Shirika Plan. Now, the plan has 6 pillars, which include pillar number 1 is systems building and enabling policy frameworks to strengthen national institutions' capacities to ensure equity, equality, and inclusion.